Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm Laura.
I'm Cecilia.
And this is the Yarn Mews podcast, episode 5.
5.
Who knew that we'd make it so long?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Time
been
flies when
murdered
you're
yet.
having fun. Well, things may change today.
They might. Who knows?
So, sorry, I'm just trying to get my knitting out. Oh, look.
Look, a tangle.
Tangle, but it's okay. It's all good.
Don't panic.
So first we wanted to say thank you to everybody who came out and
Yes.
visited us at Yarnover. We had a lot of nice comments from people about watching the podcast.
Yes, it was so nice to meet you in person and
it was.
say
It
hey.
really was. And for those of you who live elsewhere and you know who you are, who have been ordering from us because of the podcast, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's
We
really
appreciate
nice.
it.
So,
Yeah. Yes.
anywho,
All fabulous.
Yeah. So what you working on today, Cecilia?
I'm still working on this blankety blank sweater. But look, it looks like a sweater now. Ooh.
It does look like a sweater. How much more do you have to go?
Well, I'm doing increases now because I decreased and now I have these weird increases.
You know, to kind of shape for a woman's body.
Yeah, well, I've always been more, round all around, so
Well, not so much anymore.
less so now, but so
I don't
yeah.
know if you know this, but Cecilia's lost like 100 pounds.
I have.
100 pounds.
I have.
Crazy, and I bow down to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Because I tried to do what she's doing. Not so good.
But anyway, so I have these increases I need to do. I have 2 more of those left, and then I have to knit until this is 14.5 inches, and then I got little tiny sleeves to do. Then I'll be done.
Yay.
So
is there any neck trim, or is it all done?
that's
is
all
it
done. That's
just
the neck
supposed to
trim.
roll a little bit?
I think when I block it, it'll be better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And I think it's supposed to be, hanging out on the beach sort of look.
It's cute.
It is.
Really cute.
This
Do you
yarn-
like working with the yarn?
I like the yarn. it's a
Noro
very
Sonata.
soft. Yes, it's a very soft cotton blend, and it hasn't pulled apart on me, which is always nice because I do tend to knit very, very tightly. My kung fu grip, I call it. And yeah.
What do Kung Fu warriors wear? Maybe we should put you in something like that next time.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should do that.
I think we should.
I think Laura's been hit on the head this morning because that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that all you're working on right now? Just the one project?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it done so I can do stuff for me.
Cool.
My
I'm
evil
sure
overlord or evil overlords would leave me alone and I could
I'm
knit
sure
for
you can
myself.
find something else for you to do right after you're done knitting that. I'm sure.
I'm sure you could, but I'm not gonna do it.
Well, what are you going to do next? Do you have a plan?
I do have a plan. I want to work on my vest that I'm gonna make out of the Valiant.
Oh, yeah.
The Nerd Girl Valiant, and I'm doing that mystery knit along, and that starts in a couple weeks. So
Yes,
I got to get my beginning stuff done.
So tell us about the mystery knit along.
I mentioned it last time.
Okay.
Yep, it's Barbara Benson, and it's called With the Candlestick in the Library, and
it's a shawl.
It's a shawl.
Fingering weight?
DK weight.
Oh, nice.
So
it's a little faster.
A little faster,
Yeah.
yes.
Cool.
And so the first official clue is on May 25th. And then every week the price goes up. So if you want in on it, do it now. Because it's like $4 or something,
Yeah,
which
nice.
is really good. And I love Barbara Benson. She's the bomb.
Lace.
Mosaic lace.
Mosaic lace, yeah. Okay.
But she has a whole bunch of stuff where she's doing, she has a pattern that I did that is called Cables Are Cool. It's a hat, and it's mosaic cables.
Cool.
And it's fabulous. So if you're worried about doing color work, it's mosaic, so it's just one color per row, and then you get to add in fun things like cables and lace. So
nice. Oh, nice.
And I have met her at market, and she was very delightful.
Yeah.
So I give her all the props.
Someday maybe we'll have her come teach for us.
I would love that.
I know. I just have to make it happen.
I know.
So, anywho.
What you working on?
Well, I brought in today my swatch for the Strathendrick Knit-A-Long that I'm doing. So, there you go.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. So, I'm getting 25 stitches per inch in both the plain stockinette and the color work.
Really?
Yeah, which surprised me.
That is surprising.
I mean, it looks pretty
much
the same. It looks like it pulls in slightly in the plain, which surprised me even more because normally it would be pulling in the color work.
Let me look at the inside of your color work.
But
look how good your floats are.
Yeah, I mean, I try.
Look at her beautiful floats, everybody.
Thank you. The gauge for the pattern is 28 stitches for 4 inches. I'm on a size 1. I'd started on a size 3 because that's what she said that she started on. Now, she's using a different brand of yarn. It's a Kate Davies brand, which we don't carry, so we're using elementalaffects Shetland fingering, which is an American Shetland yarn. Also fingering weight.
Yeah.
But I'm getting 25 stitches to 4 inches. And first of all, I'm not going down to a size 0. I'm not knitting a sweater on a size 0.
No, that way madness lies.
I mean, size 1 is bad enough. But also, I think if I went down, this fabric would be too stiff. It's almost too stiff now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't
look,
want it.
There's not much in the way of drape in that. I mean, I think it's fine, but I don't know. So, but the good thing is that it's super oversized.
It is really oversized.
So I actually,
okay.
Yeah, I'll just make a smaller size. There are 4 sizes to it. And the biggest size is 72 inches around.
Jiminy crickets.
If I did the medium size, I calculated it out this morning, it would be 72 inches around.
Well, there you go.
I don't know that I want to have a 72 inch around sweater, so I'll probably make the small size, which I think comes out to 68 inches, which I think is fine. The other issue, though, is that my row gauge in the color work is 34 rounds per inch. No, I wrote it down this morning, but my round gauge is slightly more than her round gauge.
So you have to cut out some of your pattern.
No, I'll have to increase.
Pattern.
And I'll have to calculate how far down the arm. Is it arm side? Is that what they call the arm opening? Needs to be, but I'll figure that out later. But I'm mentioning this because we have people signed up for the Strathendrick Knit-A-Long, and you're going to have to do the same kind of calculations. Janine Kosel, the author of Norwegian Handknits and Swedish Handknits, co-author, is coming to teach a stranded knitting class for us, and I will ask her to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be good before the Knit-A-Long starts. So Knit-A-Long starts late June, so if you want to sign up, now's the time to do it. It's free. So there you go.
But we will need to order yarn.
Yes,
so
the yarn needs
come in and figure out your colors.
Yarn needs to be ordered by June 4th. Yeah. So if you're going to do this, we're expecting a ship from elementalaffects this week so we have all the colors, so you're able to pick from all the colors. We're short about 8 colors right now. It's actually right here behind us in these bins. So
it's beautiful yarn.
Yeah,
I love elementalaffects.
It is. So that's fingering weight sweater number 1. And because I'm a glutton for punishment and I finished the shift, which we'll talk about in a minute, I decided to do another fingering weight sweater this summer. I mean, why not? So that's what I'm knitting on today. It's called FF Backward. Oh God, and I cannot remember the name of the designer, but I'll put it in the information
down below, right here.
Yeah, right there. But I decided to use our brand new yarn abstract.
Yay!
So this is just obviously the, and also this is a big oversized sweater.
Really? I'm shocked.
I know, shocked and stunned because it's my style. I think this one is like 66 inches around or something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
So anyway,
that's a lot of knitting.
I've just completed the ribbing and I'm almost done with this little stripe section, and then I'm going to switch to where's my bag? I'm going to switch to this bright blue.
Ooh, I love that blue.
So this is our house brand yarn. It's brand new. We just got it done a week and a half ago, right before Yarnover, and we took it to Yarnover. It's called Abstract. It's a 90% blue-faced Leicester wool, also known as BFL wool, and 10% nylon. And it's a fingering weight. We have it milled for us at a mill in Pennsylvania. The yarn, the fiber itself comes from England, and we have 13 colors based off of the Kandinski painting, color study, squares and concentric circles. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, actually, I have a label here.
You could look it up on the label.
Oh, that's the wrong yarn. Yes. Color study, squares with concentric circles. I was close. Yeah. By Vasily Kandinsky. Vasily. Whatever, right. Anyway, so we're super excited about this yarn. We've got, like I said, 13 colors. I'm trying to grab the ones that I pulled. So, including these lovelies, and white, dark gray, and black, or medium gray. And what else can we tell them about this lovely yarn?
It's fingering weight.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's got just a little bit of nylon. I can knit with it.
Yeah,
which is the best part, in my opinion.
You know,
I think the
there's
colors
so much
are great, and they're sort of tonal, so they're not, you know.
Oh yeah, I was going to show you a little swatch, and I forgot to pull it off the wall. Let me grab the swatch. Keep talking about it, Cecilia.
Okay, and it's extremely soft. I was actually surprised at how soft it was, because it is just.
So have we talked about blue-faced Leicester wool and why we like it? Other than the fact that Cecilia can knit with it because it's not merino.
Well, we can talk about it.
So first of all, I just want to say merino is ubiquitous right now. Everybody, all the hand dyers use merino for most of their bases. And there's so many other fabulous wools out there that I think I, for one, want to provide education to tell people why these other wools are great and what they're useful for. Merino is the softest.
Unless
wool.
It makes your flesh burn like me, in which case not so much.
Yeah. It's the softest wool out there by micron count. Micron is a scientific term, and I can never remember if it's you want more microns or less microns.
I think you want more.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right
because it is.
Anyway, blue-faced Leicester wool is also a soft wool, but it doesn't have quite the same micron count as merino. It's a little less soft. But when you trade, what happens is you trade softness for durability.
Yeah.
The problem with merino, in my opinion, is that it is almost too soft, which means it's going to pill more and
it's going to wear through faster.
Yes. I remember I made a pair of socks, which I don't do very often, as you guys know.
Yeah.
Out of Malabrigo sock.
Oh my.
And I didn't put any reinforcing thread in. Why? I don't know, because it's 100% merino. It has no nylon in it. What was I thinking? I wore them twice and went right through the ball of my foot, which is where I always run through socks. Those socks are still sitting.
You haven't darned them?
I have not darned them because why? I'm just going to run through them again because they don't have any reinforcing thread in them. I mean, I thought about cutting them off and making little wristers.
Yeah.
But, I'm just not going to do it. I know I'm not. So eventually they'll just get thrown away. I don't know what else I'm going to do with them. So
I don't know. I can't help you with that. But yeah, no, your BFL's gonna last you better if you want to make them into socks. You're not gonna wear through the elbows in your sweaters or your underarm here where some people have issues.
Yeah.
It's it's just such a nice fiber, and the sheep are so cute. I don't know. I can't want them.
The other thing that I learned when I was researching BFL is that it's got a natural sheen, which you can really tell when you look at this. Oh, I was going to show you the swatch to show you how the tonality is. So I might take a different picture and insert that, but I don't know. I think it's pretty.
It is pretty.
That's the color of the front of my sweater, by the way. The back is that blue. Yes, I know, right? Because look at my mug.
That's such an odd
It's the
color
same
for
color.
You were wearing that color yesterday.
Yes, I was. And also, the other thing about BFL is that it has a natural drape. Mm-hmm. So we threw the nylon in there so you could use it for socks.
Yeah.
But it also means that you need to use your scissors if you want to break it, because I tried to break this and it doesn't work.
Not so much, huh?
No. So.
All right, then. That's good to know.
Yeah. So we've sold out of that bright blue that I showed you that I'm making the back of my sweater with. And we're down to a couple of skeins in some of the other colors, but I've ordered more of the fiber. Not sure how long it'll take to get it milled and dyed, but we'll get more. Yeah. So we're very excited about our new yarn. We're calling our brand 3K Yarns. So this is the first one, Abstract, and if it continues to go well, we'll think about adding another weight and,
maybe fatter, maybe skinnier. Who knows?
Well, probably not skinnier.
Not skinnier.
Because this is it's actually a pretty light fingering.
Yeah.
So probably not skinnier. Maybe DK.
I love DK.
Or worsted. I don't know.
Worsted's okay too.
We'll think about it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, this was a 6-month process to get this. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not that long. 4 months?
Seems like a long time.
Yeah.
But
so
April was so long that everything seems like a long time.
No, April was a crazy busy month.
Yeah.
So anyway, you should come in and see it before it's sold out.
Come look at our pretty yarn.
Or you can find it online in our e-store.
Yep, it's there too.
Yeah.
And I'll mail you some.
Yeah.
That's
and if you tell us that you like watching us on our podcast when you place the order, we'll send you a nice little note.
Yes.
I mean, we'll send you a nice little note anyway, but we'll both sign it.
Yes.
And say thanks for watching our podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. So the other thing that I had been knitting on is the Shift by Andrea Mowry, and I have it right here. This is the finished item.
It's very pretty.
It was fun to knit. I'm going to take it off this and show you. So it looks like it's knit on the bias. It's not. You're knitting it regularly. You start here and you go down and around, and then you end here, which is the bind off edge, and then you seam it together up the back. And it's a 4-row repeat in 2 different sections. So the first section is, well, I'm not going to tell you all about the sections, but they're 2 different shapes that appear. And the first 2 rows of every 4-row repeat are slip. It's kind of like a mosaic slip stitch pattern. So you're only working with 1 color, even though it looks like you've been working with 2. And then you use 3 different colorways of the yarn, and then she tells you how to where and when to change the colorways, so you get this kind of cool shifting colors effect. I'm sure that's why she called it the Shift.
Probably.
But I used louisaharding Amatola. These are not the colors I use, but I had our staff put together some colors they thought would be pretty in it. So there you go. And also, because I'm a plus size woman, this does not do what it does on Andrea and Mowry, who is obviously tiny. Because it looked kind of like a shawl on her, even though it's really a cowl with a shawl protrusion, right? The idea being that shawls fall off all the time, and this would not fall off, and you'd still get that kind of shawly effect. On me, it just looks like a bandana. So,
which is fine.
Which is fine. I mean, it'd be perfect under a winter coat.
Yeah.
You know, you have this thing
Just
going
like
this
that,
way,
and
and then
you'd
it
be
covers
warm
up
and-
your opening. And
Yeah.
but if you wanted to make it larger, I think you could use this is sport weight. You could use a DK weight like Noro Silk Garden would be great because that's a color changing yarn.
Silk Garden Lite.
So yeah, sorry, Silk Garden Lite. And I used a size 5 needle on this, so if you used a 6 or a 7,
Just go up.
yeah, and not worry about what her gauge was in the pattern, just knit it to a fabric that feels good for you. I think this would be great. If you wanted to go up even larger for a looser effect, you could use Noro Silk Garden or Berroco Medina. Is that a DK or is that a worsted? I can never remember.
I think that's a worsted.
I think it is too. I mean, I think it would be pretty in that too,
Yeah,
because that's another slow color changing yarn. What?
Freya?
Freya Fibers ombre worsted would be nice in it. And then I'd go up to a size 8 or maybe even a 9. Because of the slip stitch, you're gonna...
You want to use a bigger
Yeah,
needle.
you want to use a bigger needle because it tightens up your gauge when you slip. So, but anyway, I think it's pretty. And I had a lot of fun knitting it. It's fun because you don't know what's going to happen with the colors, particularly because you're working with 2 different color changing yarns at the same time, and it's like, oh, okay, let's see what's going to happen next. So anyway, there you go.
And was there something else you want to talk about with that?
Oh yeah, well you can just say it.
This is our perk pattern for the month, and it's
10% off the yarn if you
There
buy
you go.
yarn.
if you buy the pattern and the yarn.
Yeah.
And
To
then
make
to make that. So
yeah, any of the yarns. You know, it can be these. This is why we have them bundle up. So
yeah, because if you really love this, you're like, oh my god, those are all my colors. Come in, it's all ready for you to pick up.
And the great thing, and you know, I just want to show you, this has pink in it. You probably couldn't see that when we were doing this. But yeah, it's got pink in it, and this one's got some more taupey grays in it. This one I used in here. It's this colorway down here. But anyway,
but yeah, just come in and buy the pattern. Yeah, we can print it up for if you need us to, and then buy the yarn, get 10% off, and
if you know, I don't think I'm pretty sure that not all the colors of Amatola that we have are on our website. Some are. But if you have a color theme that you like, you know, like I'm a blue-green person.
she is.
Hence the colors of this.
Yes.
And you don't see the colors that you want on our website, you can just call us up and we'll put something together for you.
Yeah.
And send it out
We'll
to you.
take care of you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Same thing. I'm pretty sure the Noro Silk Garden Lite and Noro Silk Garden are not on our website. The Freya is, and the Medina is. So you could look at those and choose some colors. But there you go.
Yeah.
And if you do order it on our website, the 10%. So the perk project, by the way, is for 3K Club members only.
Yes.
So you have to be a 3K Club member, and you can sign up for that on our website as well.
$9.95.
Yep, $9.95 to join. It's a one-time fee. You're a lifetime member after that. And what you get as part of that is you get discounts on things like this. We generally have a perk project each month. And also, when you spend $500 in the store, you get a $50 reward to spend in the store, and we give you a birthday coupon for 15% off a day's purchase, and there are periodically other things.
Yeah.
So there's not really a way, I don't think, to put a coupon code on our website specifically for our perk project. So if you're from out of town and you're not going to come in the store, but you want to participate, then you need to call us and we'll take care of you that way. Or send an email and I can send a...
Well, if they put a note on there saying it's for shift and I'm a 3K member,
we could refund it on PayPal. We could refund a portion on PayPal.
We could do it on PayPal.
Yeah. Yeah. Because all of our purchases on our account run through PayPal. So
yeah. So we could figure it out.
So there you go.
If you hate the telephone, because we know some people who hate the telephone. That'd be us.
Yeah, it's a weird... You have to hate the telephone to work in the back.
Yes.
Here at 3 Kittens,
that's our rule. Sorry.
Just joking.
It just happened.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the shift. So last podcast, we asked everybody, in order to be entered in our prize for a little yarn bowl, we asked everybody to say what kind of needles they liked. And I'll announce the winner in a few minutes, but I want to just give a little report on what kind of needles. And we only had 11 people respond, so this is a fairly small report. The winner was Chai Gu, which we do not carry here in the store. But maybe we have to think about it. And then there was a tie between Addi, Karbonz, and Knitter's Pride in general. Now, Knitter's Pride makes Karbonz, so maybe Knitter's Pride would be second. I don't know. And then Addi. And then we had, just single people. One person said their grandmothers for sentimental reasons. That's sweet. And then somebody said their Knit Picks 4-inch wooden needles, which I think we could get 4-inch needles from HiyaHiya because I think we've had those before. Those are great for doing like thumbs or fingers.
They only come in the small sizes.
Yes.
That's the main problem I have with those, because I would like to have 4-inch ones that are sized like 8s, 7s for when I make toys, because that would be really nice for little arms.
Right.
But
have you talked to them about that?
I have not, but
you should mention that to them.
Well, maybe I will.
They might be interested.
Well, because that would be really awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible at, well, not terrible at magic loop. I get ladders. Everyone else, magic loop is like, no ladders. I always get them with magic loop and not with DPNs. So
I get them with DPNs.
Yeah, and it's because I say this all the time. I am from Bizarro World. I am the opposite of everybody. So the longer I knit, the tighter my knitting.
Does that mean you do opposite day every day?
Every day is opposite day for me. Yes. I'm allergic to merino and
it's funny. We have a lot of fiber allergies in this shop. So Cecilia is allergic to merino. Shane is allergic to Angora, and if there's any milk casing in it.
That was bad.
And then there was somebody else who...
Kathy's allergic to alpaca.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's
I don't know. We're just
exciting.
Special here.
So yeah. But
that was a lead into
talking about needles.
Talking about needles and what we carry here in the store.
So we have a
and I'm just going to sit back and relax because this is Cecilia's.
Well, it is kind of my purview for some reason. Somehow this has become my bailiwick. So
we use big words here: purview, bailiwick, ubiquitous.
I just like to use old-timey words. I'd like to state that. Okay. Because that's kind of my deal. When Serena that's my girl, when she was younger, I'd be like, who are those hooligans you were hanging around with? She was, I'm like, hooligans and ne'er-do-wells. So. And anyway, enough about words. So, one of the things we carry is HiyaHiyas. That's what they look like. And we carry the bamboos, the stainless, and the sharps, which have sharper points on them. I like the sharps and the metal because I don't love wooden needles, mainly because I have a tendency to snap them. See previous discussion of Kung Fu grip.
You know, and Cecilia said she likes the sharps, and I don't, because if you can tell on the screen, I push off with my index finger of my left hand, so when I work with sharps, it hurts after a while.
Yep, that is a problem. If you do that, don't buy sharps. You'll get holes right there in your finger. These are the Karbonz. Someone mentioned these. These are awesome. I love these. I actually have an interchangeable set of Karbonz.
So tell them what Karbonz are.
Karbonz are hardened carbon fiber. So they have a little bit of flexibility like wood, but they don't snap like wood. And then they have these snazzy metal tips. So
which for
it
those
goes
of us who like metal,
it gives
faster.
you that metal fastness, but yet if you're knitting with something a little slippery, it kind of grips them like the wood.
Yeah.
So it's the best of both worlds, in my opinion. They're a little pricey, but I think they're worth it. My only problem with them is that if you see them, they are black. And when you are knitting dark yarn on these needles, it's hard to count. So that would be my own problem with them.
I could see that. I think the metal tips probably help a little bit with seeing your yarn as you're knitting it, but when you're counting,
but it's counting. It's the counting. It's and I don't live in the brightest house in the world, so.
Didn't it get educated?
No.
Sorry.
It's a post-war home. They didn't allow education back in the 50s. Sorry. I think it's a girl, so they weren't allowed to get any education back then. And then we have Addies. Those are the rockets. My favorite. These are the turbos. We no longer carry the lace ones because they have the coating that some people's body chemistry interacts with and causes it to corrode. And it's just not everybody.
It's not really corroding. It's just discoloring.
It gets gummy though.
Oh, mine don't get gummy. They just have discolored.
No, this is some people's chemistry actually causes it to gum up and be weird. And so, yes, many
so we carry
people
the rockets.
We carry the rockets instead because they have the lace tips, but with the turbo body. So they're nice and slippery for them that like slippery. I cannot use Addies. They poke me right here. It is the most irritating thing when I knit with them.
You mean the end of the...
The end of the needle pokes right in there. I have tried.
Feel where the end of my needle is. Oh.
Yep, pokes me right in there. It is so irritating.
I love them. I'm an Addi addict. I will use Addies almost exclusively. The only time I don't is when I'm working with a really slippery yarn. I like to knit fast. I like my yarn to slip well. When I work with super slippery yarns, particularly if they're fine yarns, I will definitely go to a bamboo needle just for that. I don't love working on bamboos, but sometimes it's better to do that than have your stitches drop all the time. So
true. All right, and in double points, in the short double points, we have got these Royals, and they're wood with metal tips.
Those are Knitter's Pride as well.
And they are, you like these, right?
I do have a set of them. We have, we periodically have a set in the store that goes from
0 to 4, 3, something like that.
5, or, I don't know. Yeah.
It's the smaller sizes.
Yeah, I think it's 0 to 5.
And
I like
each one's a different color, right?
Yep, each one's a different color, so
you can look at them and say, oh, these green ones, those are my 4s. And yeah, so when you're doing double point
those are kind of like the Karbonz, and not in terms of it's not carbon fiber, it's wood, it's painted wood, but it's got the metal tip. So for me, if I'm doing double pointed work, which I don't do a lot, but I have to on the toes of the socks, or, well, not if I'm magic looping them, but at the top of a hat or something like that. It's grippy like wood, but has the metal tip, which makes it a little faster, so I like it.
And we have these in stock right now. Some of the sizes came in this week. And they are the Addi Flexi-Flips. And these are new product from Addi. They've been selling out like crazy. And they are basically a double point. And I don't know if you can see this. It has a little tiny cord in there. So what those are for is for your socks. And then you're just, if you look at this little photograph here, you can see how they're doing it there, where you're using 2 for your stitches and 1 for knitting off of, and it's sort of like a 9-inch circular, only with more needles.
Yep.
So that's an option. You can try them out. And then we have some straights. We carry the Metal Nova ones. Those go from 0 to, I believe.
Those are also Knitter's Pride.
Yes. 9 or something, maybe 10. And those are metal straight needles. And then we have the Brittany straight needles, which come in the really bigger sizes. These go up to like a 35, which we carry. So if you need to knit something flat on really big needles, hey. Or if you need to kill vampires. Either one, perfect for your toolbox. Woohoo! That's what I know.
That's what we got.
Yeah.
So the one brand that we don't carry that's people
like is Chigu.
Is Chigu. The problem is we already carry a bunch of needles, so we'd have to get rid of something probably in order to bring something else in.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll bring them in. I don't know. I've not really knit with Chigu, so I'll have to knit a whole project. I've knit with one for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And they were fine. And they weren't exciting. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I think people like the cable.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is.
It's red.
I know.
I don't know.
I know that. That's kind of their
brand.
Yeah, their brand is to have the red cable. But I don't know what they like about the cable. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. So. But we can look at it and we'll see what happens. Who knows? All your dreams might come true.
Woohoo! Just like at Disney World.
Or something. I've only been to Disney World once. It was a nightmare.
Oh my God, I go to Disney, well, I'm a Disney Vacation Club member. I haven't been to Disney World in a number of years, but when my kids were growing up, we would go every couple of years, or a Disney cruise, or Disneyland.
I love the Disney cruise. We did the Disney cruise. We did the land and sea package.
Yeah.
And I would so do that cruise again.
Did you do it during spring break?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Spring break at Disney World, no.
It's a nightmare.
I did it once. We did the land and sea package, too. Yeah. It's a nightmare. It's hard to get on any rides, even with the Fast Pass, which is the best thing ever.
Yeah. We stayed, you stay at the resort because then you get that Fast Pass, and that was the only thing that made it bearable, I think. But you know what? We were there, and we went to New York City, like the next year or something, and there were less people in New York City than in
Yes,
Disney.
no, I agree. Spring break is not the time to go. I was actually thinking about seeing if any of my kids want to go this fall sometime, because I'm kind of getting the urge to go to Disney World again. And fall's a good time to go because all the little kids are in school. Well, not the super little ones, but you know what I mean.
The super little kids. Ones are just terrified of the creatures, so you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I think if I'm going with my kids, we're probably not standing in line for any of the characters. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
No. We might do a character breakfast, though, because those are fun.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah. So,
that was the first time I'd had grits.
I don't know if Disney's going to give us any
payback.
Disney,
how about a little bit of bump up here?
Giving them a unpaid promotional advertisement, but I do love Disney. I've actually been to Disneyland Paris, and I would love to go to Tokyo. I think that'd be fun. Actually, my daughter's talking about moving back to Japan to work after grad school. So
there's your opportunity.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if I don't know, though. I mean, I can only spend a limited amount of time in Japan, and Disneyland may not be at the top of my list. Maybe for a day.
Maybe you could do one day there.
Yeah.
Because,
Because then it could be checked off my bucket list.
That's right. But you don't want to finish your bucket list.
No.
Never finish it.
No, because then you die.
Then you die. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Always have stuff on the list.
I don't really have a bucket list. I mean, I haven't written it
either.
down. I think I did write it down someplace, sometime.
Really?
And one of the top things on it was to do a marathon, which I did 4 of them. So, that got checked off. But I don't know where that list is, so... So now it's just, in my head.
Many years ago, we had a book that came in, and I don't know if it's in print anymore or not, but it was like a knitter's checklist, and so each section was talking about a different type of knitting, or, and there was a section on hats, which I adore hats, so I was going through this checklist, and like the only thing I had left on there to check off was like going to Peru, and I'm like, sorry, Charles, I got to go to Peru and learn how to do Intarsia on the round, which is one of my dreams. I would love to go and learn it properly down there in Peru, because all those chulus, that's not stranded work, that's Intarsia.
Yeah.
And I just think it'd be so great to be able to do that.
Well, maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Get your passport in gear and make plans.
Yeah, the bigger issue is the money.
Yeah, I know.
Peru is not a cheap destination because it's, far away and in the mountains. You know?
But the time zone's not that much different from here, which always amazes me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always think it's going to be like, it's actually more East Coast time.
Yeah.
Or a little bit ahead of the East Coast. And I always think, no, that's not right. And then I look at a map and go, oh, yeah, it is.
That'll be right.
Yeah, my daughter's in the Marquesas Islands in French Polynesia right now doing some field research, and I just feel like it should be like a whole day's time difference, and it's 6.5 hours. I mean, it's nothing. So, anyway. Or maybe it's not even that much. I don't know. It's less than I think it should be. But anyway, that's really all we have to talk about. Oh, contest. Contest winner.
Yes, we have a winner.
Our winner from last week, who gets to win one of our little mini yarn bowls, is Tina Domer. So Tina, come in if you're local and pick out your yarn bowl. I'm here 6 days a week, so the only day I'm not here is Sunday. So if you can come in one of the days that I'm here and ask for me, I will make that happen for you. If you're from out of town, send me an email at laura@3kittensneedlearts.com, and I'll send you pictures of what we've got, and you can make a decision, and we'll ship it off to you.
Yes.
So. And this week for the contest, so we're going to give away this lovely skein of Anzula Kohl.
It's pretty.
It is 70% silk, 30% camel. It's worsted weight. It's got 180 yards on it, which should be enough to make a hat.
Yes, it should. A really nice hat.
Yeah.
Or a cowl. It'd be lovely as a cowl.
Yeah, if there's enough yardage. I mean, it would depend on which cowl you picked. So just
a little cowl that goes right here.
Yeah, like almost a neck gaiter.
Yeah.
Or slightly bigger.
A dickie.
Yeah. As
they used to be called in the good old days.
A nice pattern, and I'm pretty sure it's worsted weight, that we had a sample of here in the store for a while, is Thermis, Thermis, and this, I think, might work for that. But what you have to do in order to win this time is, in the comments on our YouTube channel, you have to tell us the name of one person that you tell about our podcast this week. So there's no way for us to check to see if you actually tell somebody about this, but
we'd
help us out here. We want people to watch. So if you could tell one of your yarn buddies that about our podcast, that would be great.
Yeah.
And just you don't even have to put the full name in. You can put, let's say, like if it was somebody telling Tina who won this, you could put, I told Tina D.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what you have to do. And I think that's it for the day.
I think that's
a little
all we
shorter,
got.
I think,
Yeah.
this time. Which, you know, for Kelly Fashing, who likes to just sit and listen to us for 45 minutes so she can get some knitting done. Sorry, Kelly, it's a little shorter.
We'll do better next week for you, Kelly. Promise.
All right. Oh, also, really last thing.
Really, one more thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cloud 9 knitting retreat is coming up in July, and we're starting to fill up. So if you are interested in joining us, please sign up.
We're going to have so much fun.
We are. I'm going to the hotel this afternoon. Maybe Cecilia is going with me, although I haven't told her about it.
I didn't know that. I love going to the
look
hotel.
at the to look at the space and talk with the guy who does the AV stuff and figure out that kind of thing. So
fun.
So anyway, we're excited about that. You can find out all the information on our website, but you do have to call in the store to sign up.
Yes.
So,
and should we tell them we've decided on our Saturday evening?
Oh, yeah. So one of the things that we have been not sure about for the Cloud 9 knitting retreat is that on Saturday evening we're going to have an optional activity for the people who are participating. And so we're going to hop onto the light rail for 2 stops to the Mall of America, which is about half a mile away from the hotel.
Yep.
Or you could drive over, I don't care. And
or
we're
you
going to
could walk if you really wanted to.
And we're going to do a scavenger hunt at the Mall of America. That's this is something that Dick's Last Resort, which is a restaurant there, does. And it's with iPads. You separate into groups. You go off to find these things. You take a picture with your iPad. I don't know.
I did it a million years ago with a corporate team building activity. And we actually had disposable cameras because it was that long ago. And it was at Planet Hollywood. And it was so much fun.
Was it?
Yes.
Well, I think it will be really fun. So then you come back and we're going to have dinner there, and you do they'll do a slideshow of everything from the iPads and
all the things you've taken photos of. And
so I think it'll be fun.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. And I haven't figured out the pricing yet. The dinner you have to pay for the dinner on your own, and then the pricing on the scavenger hunt itself will be less than $15. So so there you go.
Yeah.
And that's
really
it.
That's
really
all we're gonna say.
Really.
No more.
No, wait.
We're gonna say
I'm
goodbye.
just joking.